You know what? I want light skin. I want that light skin crybaby. I want that light skin coward. And I think he's scared. And I think he knows I'm his toughest test at 135 pounds.
Gervonta Davis and Keyshawn Davis may not be scheduled to fight, but their names keep clashing outside the ring. Recently, the fiery exchanges between the two during an explosive face-to-face interview brought their growing rivalry to the forefront. The interview turned into a verbal battleground, with Keyshawn accusing Tank of ducking fighters like Shocker Stevenson, while Tank fired back, calling Keyshawn a hype job who hasn't faced real competition.
I was telling Bud, it's either you or Keyshawn's gonna get tanked, so the walls are closing in, so awesome.
It's gonna be him though.
It makes sense, he's closer.
Big brother.
Keyshawn, often dubbed the businessman, didn't hold back his punches verbally. At least he doubled down on his claim that Tank avoids the toughest matchups, particularly against fighters like his close friends Stevenson and even Devin Haney, but Tank wasn't having it. He shot back, labeling Keyshawn as someone who's all talk and little action, especially when it comes to stepping up to real challenges. The bad blood between them is unmistakable, and for Tank, he sees Keyshawn as an inexperienced amateur who's using his name.
The person that don't like it is him. He's kind of weird, but now he got no choice but to fight me. The fans want him to fight me. After what I just did tonight against a guy that's bigger than him, come on now, if I touch him, what's gonna happen? Talk about that. Everybody want to talk about, oh, Keyshawn, what if he touch you? What if I touch him? Yeah, okay.
However, the irony of Keyshawn's accusations wasn't lost on fans while he's quick to call out Tank for alleged cherry-picking. Keyshawn himself is facing criticism after he decides what his next fight will be. Many expected him to fight Andy Cruz, but it seems that won't be happening. Cruz, a four-time conqueror of Keyshawn and the amateurs and one of the most skilled technicians in the division, seemed like the perfect opponent to solidify Keyshawn's credibility. Yet instead of pursuing that fight, Keyshawn has now decided he will be facing Donnie's Darren, the 36-year-old WBO lightweight champion.
Andy Cruz, cut it out, Ness. In the amateurs, you fucking idiot. Should Crawford not retire till he go fight Mikey and Danny? Cause they beat him in there.
For many, this matchup feels like a strategic detour rather than a bold move. Darren Chick, while experienced, isn't seen as the type of fighter to elevate Keyshawn's standing among the lightweight elite. Critics argue that Keyshawn's decision to face Baron Chi is a calculated step to secure a belt without taking on the most dangerous competition available. Cruz, on the other hand, is the kind of opponent who could truly test Keyshawn's mettle. But Keyshawn brushed off the idea, saying that if he's not trying to fight me, I will knock him out. Cruz quickly fired back, calling Keyshawn's claims baseless and insisting he's ready and willing to fight.
You still trying to adapt to this, to our environment. You still trying to build yourself, so why the fuck did you say?
My son. Keyshawn, my son.
Andy Cruz.
This back-and-forth has left fans divided. On one hand, Keyshawn's path to a world title seems clear. Baron is a respectable opponent, but his style and age make him a more favorable matchup for Keyshawn. On the other hand, the narrative that Keyshawn is avoiding Cruz has overshadowed his accomplishments, leading to questions about whether he's truly ready for the division's best.
I think Keyshawn can beat him in the pros, even though Andy had his number, no doubt about it, throughout all the amateurs, including the Olympics. But I think, the pros is a different game. You guys know that. And I think Keyshawn, is showing us more power.
Keyshawn's focus, at least publicly, is on securing the WBO title and then setting his sights on Tank. In Davis' own words, after I become champion, it's about proving I'm the best, which means going after my Tank. Haney, or whoever they say, is the top guy, but as Tank pointed out during their heated exchange, holding a belt doesn't automatically earn you a seat at the table with boxing's biggest stars. Tank emphasized belts don't mean fights. You got to earn your shot.
He's gonna be a great fighter.
He's calling for Tank. Now,
He beats Tank.
Yeah, you think so?
Keyshawn Davis beats Tank, in my opinion. I believe to give him a good ass spanking.
Keyshawn's journey has undoubtedly been impressive. With an unbeaten record of 12 and 8 knockouts, he's quickly climbed the ranks, earning praise for his slick style and charisma. But the shadow of Cruz is still there, and fans can't ignore the history between them. Cruz, now a rising star in his own right, represents unfinished business for Keyshawn. A win against Cruz would not only settle old scores, but also silence critics who question Keyshawn's willingness to face the toughest challenges. Meanwhile, Tank Davis continues to dominate headlines.
Ready for whoever comes next, man.
That boy ready. He been ready, actually. You know what I mean? It's just giving the opportunity. That's all it is.
You got two little brothers that is closing on Tank. You know, one of them gonna get him.
One of them gonna get him. Yeah. It's gonna be a great night of boxing when they do.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Fresh off his 28th KO, he remains one of boxing's most electrifying figures. Critics argue that his team has strategically avoided certain fighters, and his decision to face Lamont Roach, a solid but not elite contender, has only fueled that narrative. But Tank's response to these accusations is simple. I've always and will always fight who they put in front of me, and I take care of business every time. And he's not wrong. Tank's resume includes victories over top names like Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, and Leo Santa Cruz, each of whom he dismantled in brutal fashion. But the calls for him to face the likes of Shocker Stevenson or Devin Haney grow louder with each passing fight.
World title, but also we gonna come back to Norfolk, man. So y'all don't forget about me. Y'all keep supporting DB3. But world title definitely gonna be next 2025. We got big plans for.
Keyshawn's insistence that he's the man to dethrone Tank has added a new layer of intrigue to the division. But for now, he has to handle Baroni, a fight that, while winnable on paper, comes with its own set of risks. Darren may lack the speed and explosiveness of younger fighters, but his experience, durability, and relentless pressure make him a dangerous opponent. A slip-up against Barron would derail Keyshawn's ambitions and provide more fodder for his critics.
Andy Cruz. So I think if Keyshawn wants a fight before Gervonta Davis, sign us up for Andy Cruz. He took him to school 3 times and he'd be ready to do it again.
However, it's not just Tank that Keyshawn is after. It's all the big names who are said to be the best. Davis has his sights set on the division's champions, including even Vasily Lomachenko, as he inches closer to fulfilling his dreams of becoming a world champion at just 25 years old. Davis has already achieved what many fighters only dream of, a Tokyo Olympic silver medalist. He transitioned to the professional scene with the kind of talent that turns heads. Despite his youth, Davis is confident in his ability to take on the biggest names in the sport. Speaking recently, Davis declared, "I'm the best 135-pounder out right now, and with each fight I'm going to keep proving that."
You are good. You are real good. But there's levels to this game, Keyshawn.
Okay, we gonna talk about levels. Okay, just know it's
His polished technique, sharper IQ, and impressive knockout power have earned him the nickname the Businessman, a name that apparently shows his genius inside and outside the ring. Following his victory over Lemos, Davis has now secured a fight with WBO lightweight champion Dennis Baron Sheik at 36 years old. Darren Chi might not have the flashiness of some younger fighters, but his experience and relentless pressure make him a formidable opponent. The Ukrainian, a close friend of Vasily Lomachenko, captured the WBO title earlier this year with a gritty split decision win over Emmanuel Navarrete.
Hey, for that other southpaw on the other side of the street, this is an example for you. But I probably can do you a little earlier than that. You and Earl keep saying this, that, and third. I want to fight, but y'all calling out.
For Davis, this fight represents a critical step toward achieving his ultimate goal of becoming a unified world champion. Winning the WBO belt would cement his place among the lightweight elite and set the stage for the marquee matchups he craves. But questions remain. Will defeating Brian Check bring him closer to facing stars like Tank Davis or Lomachenko? Keyshawn Davis has never been shy about calling out the biggest names in the division. After his victory over Lemos, he reiterated his desire to face Tank Davis and Lomachenko boldly, claiming, "If they're ready to fight me, I'll sign the contract right now."
Teofimo been doing a lot of talking lately, so hey, I go up to 140 and fight Teofimo. What's up? Get this win tonight. Teofimo, you already know how I'm coming. You and your father. So let's set it up. Let's set it up. I'll come straight to 140.
This confidence has drawn both admiration and skepticism. Some view Davis as a future superstar willing to take risks, while others question whether his brash talk is premature given his relatively limited professional experience. His decision to fight Binnick, however, is a step in the right direction. Capturing the WBO title would give Davis the credibility and bargaining power he needs to secure bouts against the likes of Tank and Lomachenko. Furthermore, it would prove his ability to handle high-stakes fights against seasoned opponents. Still, critics argue that Baron isn't the most challenging fight available for Davis, while Davis has dismissed the idea, saying Cruz isn't ready. The decision to sidestep this matchup has fueled debate about whether Davis is avoiding tougher challenges on his path to the top.
Yo, but what about Keyshawn saying that the Tank is target practice? You heard that audio?
I like how Keyshawn, he's clout chasing. Bring up Tank's name, sell your fight, get the most
That's
views
what Morrell
on it.
was doing.
Yeah, that's what Morrell was doing. But Keyshawn, no, I don't know if he could beat Tank. He got to.
Davis insists that fighting Bereni is part of a natural progression in his career. I don't need a specific name for me to become who I need to be, Davis said in a recent interview. All I need is a world title, and we're going to take it to the next level after that. But while Baron Sheik is a credible opponent, it's unclear whether defeating him will lead to the dream fights. Davis envisions in today's boxing landscape belts alone don't guarantee a shot at the sport's biggest stars. Tank Davis, for example, has repeatedly emphasized that he fights for legacy, not belts, making it unlikely he'd pursue a match with Keyshawn based solely on a WBO title.
Who's a bigger challenge for you right now? Andy Gomez, who we just heard Willie from Boxeo Cubano ask you about, your boy Frank Martin?
Frank Martin, definitely.
Davis, to truly position himself as a must-fight contender, he'll need to continue showcasing his skill in every bout. If he can deliver a dominant performance against Baroni, particularly one that highlights his knockout power and adaptability, he could attract the attention of fighters like Tank Lomachenko or even Shocker Stevenson despite their close friendship. But the one thing that sets Keyshawn Davis apart is his undying self-belief. While his critics might dismiss his ambitions as premature, his performances in the ring tell a different story.
Bro, think about it, bro. Come on, bro. Let's go down the line, bro. Y'all been talking about, key fight Mark Castro. Key fight Rayo. Key fight Frank Martin.
His ability to adapt combined with his slick combinations and defensive sharpness make him a dangerous opponent for anyone at 135 pounds. And while he might not yet have the resume of a Tank Davis or Lomachenko, his hunger and dedication are impossible to ignore as he prepares for his showdown with Baroni. Davis remains focused on proving his doubters wrong each fight. "I'm going to keep proving that I'm the best," he said. For now, all eyes are on his upcoming bout, where he'll have the chance to take another step toward the greatness he believes is his destiny.
I'll be offensive first, but he's very, 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 very patient, and then just try to catch you slipping. You know what I'm saying? And certain fighters, is just smart, so I just...
His last opponent, who came in at 1,414 pounds over 6 pounds above the lightweight limit, added another layer of complexity to an already important matchup. Davis, however, decided to move forward, weighing 141 pounds during the morning check-in and proving once again that he's ready to take on any challenge thrown his way. Facing Lemos, a rugged Argentinian fighter with a 291-19 Ks record, was no small job. Lemos had earlier pushed Richardson Hitchens to the brink in April, making it clear that his skill and durability were not to be underestimated.
Things broken down in that fight. So I don't think it was the same Lemos that fought Richardson Hitchens, but I think that's irrelevant. He demolished him. And that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to go in there. The crowd looked great in Norfolk, Virginia. It's great for boxing. Keyshawn's a great...
The fight posed a significant test for Davis, who hoped to maintain his undefeated record, while moving one step closer to a WBO lightweight title shot against Donnie's Barrick. Chris Algieri, a past 140B champion and present analyst, highlighted the stakes of the fight. Lemos is tough, but Keyshawn wants this. Algieri explained this guy is no joke, too much to sue. I like it if you're going to be brash, I'm all for it. His comments reflected the larger sentiment surrounding Davis's career trajectory, one marked by bold moves and ambitious goals.
Davis Keyshawn, this new guy, he's 140 pounds, he's not bad.
Yeah,
Keyshawn Davis. That's him right there.
Ooh, no, I thought he was.
While preparing for the Lemos fight, Keyshawn found time to participate in a war of words with Gervonta Davis on social media. The exchange started with Keyshawn suggesting that Tank's tendency to fall behind on scorecards could be exploited. "Let me get up for 5 rounds straight on you and watch what I do to you," Keyshawn wrote on X. Tank's response was quick and cutting. He shared an old text exchange where Keyshawn had reached out for career help, captioning it with "They be so humble at first."
You got a chance to work with Gervonta out here. What was that experience like?
The back and forth only intensified the rivalry between the two fighters, with fans buzzing about a possible clash in the future while Keyshawn's confidence is admirable. Former welterweight champion Paulie Malignaggi pointed out the challenges of making a fight with Tank happen. The promotional divide between Top Rank, which manages Keyshawn, and Premier Boxing Champions, which promote Tank, has long been a big barrier.
Shit was fun, I ain't gonna lie, because I like a dude that ain't scared of me too, you know what I'm saying? Because niggas be scared, I ain't sugarcoat, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be scared in there, you feel me? That's why I love sparring.
It's not the easiest fight to make Malik Nagy accept. I don't know if Top Rank would risk their guy against Gervonta Davis. Gervonta would fight anyone, but Keyshawn is a little green behind the ears. Malik Nagy praised Keyshawn's skill set, especially his discipline and range control, but he also pushed back against the notion that Tank's slower starts could be a weakness. Gervonta knows exactly how to beat you, he revealed, while Tank often takes time to study his opponents and set up his devastating knockouts. Malik Nagy claimed that this calculated approach is a sign of intelligence, not vulnerability.
And Shakur had to like route me up to spar him because this make no sense. Shakur is a better boxer than Keyshawn. And if I'm in there doing millions of rounds with Shakur, what makes you think that Shakur has to hype me up?
Keyshawn, the fight against Lemos wasn't just about keeping his undefeated record. It was a stepping stone toward a bigger prize. The WBO lightweight title victory against Lemos moved him closer to a showdown with Denis Binik, a 36-year-old Ukrainian fighter who recently took the WBO belt. A win against Binik would not only secure Davis his first world title, but also enhance his credibility in the eyes of fans and possible opponents like Tank Davis or Vasily Lomachenko. Algieri noticed that fighters with strong amateur backgrounds like Keyshawn tend to progress more quickly than previous generations. Vasily Lomachenko destroyed that, Algieri said, referring how Lomachenko earned a world title in just his third professional fight. Keyshawn's Olympic silver medal and 12-0 record say he is on a similar fast track to Keyshawn. He has made it clear that he's not interested in taking the slow road to the top. His willingness to face tough opponents like Lemos and his bold callouts of fighters like Tank show his desire to prove himself against the best. The key will be balancing ambition with careful job management. As Malik Nagy put it, there's time for the kid to do this, while Keyshawn's faith is a driving force. His team will need to ensure that his rapid rise doesn't put him in over his head. With the lightweight division as stacked as it is, there's no shortage of possible challenges from Baron Chick to Andy Cruz, Lomachenko and Tank.
Come me, promoter. You wanna fight with me? Come me, promoter. Come me, promoter.
One thing is certain, Keyshawn Davis knows how to create buzz with his combination of skill, charisma, and social media. Savvy has made him a standout figure in boxing's next generation. As Chris Algieri stated, we're in the world of social media. Fights are made by that, or you can get a lot of attention. We're talking about it now. The attention surrounding Keyshawn's career is well earned. His ability to dominate opponents in the ring while engaging fans outside of it has made him one of the sport's most exciting possibilities as he continues to climb the ranks. The question isn't whether Keyshawn Davis will become a star, it's how quickly he'll get there.
First thing that comes to your mind when I say the name Devin Haney.
I want to fight light skin. Like, I want to fight him in a way, and honestly, I really don't have, because people be mistaken.
And he might do this more quickly than we expect. Timothy Bradley has been a vocal supporter of Keyshawn Davis, especially in his pursuit of a showdown with Gervonta Tank. Davis Bradley, a two-weight world champion known for his grit and strategy in the ring, has encouraged Keyshawn to stay relentless in calling out the top names in the lightweight division, stressing that it's a necessary part of carving his legacy. Bradley sees Keyshawn's ambition not as arrogance, but as the mindset needed to challenge boxing's best and eventually sit among them.
What was your thoughts on that type of performance as a rising star in boxing?
Where you at, Tank? Where you at? Where you at, Tank? That was my thoughts.
In his analysis, Bradley has repeatedly highlighted Keyshawn's technical prowess and ability to stay calm under pressure, traits that are vital when targeting a fighter like Tank Gervonta. His reputation as a powerful puncher and tactician makes him one of the most dangerous opponents in the sport. However, Bradley thinks that fighters like Keyshawn, with their extensive amateur pedigree and rapid professional progression, are well prepared to close that gap. He noted that Keyshawn's desire to face tough competition early in his career mirrors the paths of greats like Vivian Lomachenko and Devin Haney, who fast-tracked themselves to world titles by seeking out top-tier challenges.
Down inside, you a coward, because you got to pick on somebody that can't even defend themselves. So that's not right. And I'm not stupid. I listened to the video. I heard him in the back. Oh, I heard him saying some stuff in the background on the audio. So like, I don't appreciate that type of behavior from any man.
Bradley has also addressed the promotional divide between Top Rank and Premier Boxing champions, admitting it as a hurdle but not an insurmountable one. He thinks the persistent public demand fueled by Keyshawn's continued dominance in the ring can finally push both camps to negotiate for Bradley. The key lies in Keyshawn's ability to keep producing electrifying performances, building his profile, and forcing the notion that he's the next big thing Tank must face. Bradley's advice is clear: focus on the grind, refine the callouts, and let your fists make the loudest case for Bradley. Keyshawn hunger is the fuel that will bring this dream matchup to life.
30-year-old prospect, dog. Fight the best. Fight Shakur. Oh, he tried to fight Lomachenko at the end. I already know what everybody, but Loma didn't want that smoke. He retired Loma. You could have fought that 5-6.
The fight against Lemos was more than just another win for Keyshawn Davis. It was a statement by taking on a bigger, more experienced opponent, and coming out victorious. Davis showed that he's ready for the next level now. With a potential WBO title shot against Dennis Pinnock on the horizon, he's closer than ever to achieving his dream of becoming a world champion. But the road ahead is far from easy. Whether it's navigating the promotional politics of a Tank Davis fight or dealing with the expectations that come with his rapid rise, Keyshawn will need to stay focused and control if he can continue to showcase his skill and back up his bold words. There's no doubt that the businessman will be cashing in on even bigger chances in the near future. Well, what do you think? Do you see him continuing to rise in the division? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more information.